Sorry. Um, awesome. Um, uh, I, I I actually wasn't muted. I didn't have my headset plugged into the right computer. So um, sorry about that. My daughter was watching this and she came and told me that I was muted. Um, all right. So anyway, what I said was you didn't miss much. Uh, Basically, I want to take these and I want to substitute them in. I haven't really done anything yet. Um, and so, yes. And so what I want to return, um, and let me say uh, pairs equals that, which I think is true, and then return. I don't like writing it that way. I want to return um, pair insertion for pair insertion in pairs. Okay. Okay. And um, and now what I want to do is I want to say rules is I'm just going to use a type alias, um, and let me make sure people can hear me. Let me look at this. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, that's my bad. Okay. And so what do we call this? Pair insertion. Um, and so let's say def perform insertion template string rules, and that's going to go as string. Okay. And so what I want to do is I want to say let me do yes. Iter tools import zip longists. Actually, no, I won't do that. That won't work. Okay, and so what I want to do is I want to say pairs equals template I plus 2 for I in range len template minus 1. So that's right. So I'm looking at these pairs. And insertions equals rules pair for pair in pairs. And then output equals list. So I want to zip the template with the insertions. Okay. And actually that's not what I want to do. What I want to do is there's probably an iter tools way to do this that's better, but for C insertion in zip template insertions results dot append C results dot append insertion, and then finally, because I do that zip, it's going to stop when I get to the shorter one. So I won't end up getting the last character, and so I want to do the last character and then return that, right? And so now what I want to do is I want to say template equals template raw rules equals rules raw, and then assert that perform insertion template rules equals, I don't think that's right, but NCNBCHC. Okay, yeah, so that's not right. As I didn't expect it to be. And let us try that. Oh, I didn't push yesterday to GitHub, so that's good. And let's just do one more. Assert that perform insertion and let's just get this one. And if that's right, I'll call that a good unit test, and I won't worry about it. Okay, good. So Polymer goes quickly. Apply 10 steps, find the least common, most and least common. Okay. So from collections import counter. And so let me just do this. And what will I call that? Let me call that def solve raw string to int, and let's say rules equals rules raw strent, and let's say num steps int is 10. Num steps, okay, and then let's I hate doing these underscore names. It's a bad way to do it, but that's all right. Counts equals counter template dot most common, and return counts 0 1 minus counts minus 1 1. Okay, so counts. When I do most common, it's going to give me a list of pairs item count from most to least. So if I do count 0, that's the first entry in that list, and then 1 is the count, and then counts minus 1 is the last entry of that list. And now I want to assert that solve raw equals 1588. Okay, so that worked. So now let us get our puzzle input. I should really boilerplate some of this, huh? If name equals main, raw equals open data day14.text.read, and print solve raw. All right, let's do it. 2947. That is the right answer. Okay. Building Polymer isn't nearly strong enough to reinforce the submarine. You need to run more steps, a total of 40 steps. In the above example, the most common element is B occurring this many times, and the least common element is H occurring that many times. Subtracting these produces that. Apply 40 steps of pair insertion and find the most least common elements. What do you get? Okay, so if I do 40 steps, that's going to be just too long, so we need to come up with something different. And the thing to notice is what I really need to do is track consecutive pairs, right? So in other words, like okay, part 2. So let me tell you what I'm thinking. So one way to think of this is I have NB and BC at once, and then I have BC and CC once, and so on, right? And so now, whenever I see NB and BC, I am going to NB gets a B, right? So first I'm going to turn it to NBB and B BC. So BC goes to B. So BBC, right? And then what I can do is I can say that's really going to be NBBB and BBBC, right? And so that gives me one of those pairs. And now I can just track those. And now the problem is I need to keep track of the first and the last because everything else is going to get counted twice. All right. This might work. This might not work. It will be interesting to see if it works. Is there a reason no copyright report for VTAs and remove unused ones at the end? No, I just so let me think about this a little bit more. So when I have this, I want to say my start is N, and my end is B, and my pairs are N, 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 C, and N, C, C, B, right? Actually, maybe I can do it like this. My pairs are none, comma, N, N, comma, N. No, that's not right. None, N, 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 C, N, C, C, B, and then C, B, B, none. Okay, so let me think about if this works. And then for each of the following, if I have none N and NN, then I don't do anything with the none N, but I insert something between the two, right? So let me think about this. NN goes to C, so turns into none N NC, and then NC NN. So that's what the first one does. And then the second one turns into and again NN turns into C. So that's going to turn into I've confused myself now. Maybe I just want to track triplets. So if I track triplets, I'll get none N N N N C N C B and CB none. And then what I do with none and N is and so now everything appears twice. And now so let's say none N N goes to none n, and then nn goes to c, and then ncn, and then nnc goes to, and again the two n's goes to ncn, but then I'm counting that one twice too, so that's not good. Maybe I really just want to do this none n, maybe I'm making it too hard, nc, cb, b none, right? And then none n stays the same, nn goes to nc and cn. NC goes to, so basically everything is counted twice. No. Let me think about this. So again, that goes to none n goes to none n, because I can't do anything with that. Nn goes to nc and also cn. And then nc goes to goes to b, so it goes to nb, bc, and then cb goes to, and then cb is h, so that's ch, hb, and then b none goes to b none, right? And so what does that look like then? That looks like, if I add them all up, none n, nc, c, n, nb, bc, ch, hb, b none. And the important thing is that everything occurs twice, right? So that's really nc, nb, c, hb. Is that right? nc, nb, chb. Okay, so I think this way is actually going to work. We just have to implement it. Okay. And so what will I call this? I will call this and it's going to start with a template, which is a string, and rules, which are rules. And let's see, that's right. Self dot pair counts equals counter, and let's say self dot pair counts none comma template 0 equals 1, and self dot pair counts template -1 none equals 1, and then for prev next in that self pair counts prev next plus equals 1. Okay, so that's good. And let me do two things. equals tuple pair insert. I'm just going to change the rules to have a tuple because I'm already going to have tuples, and that's going to make it easier than doing strings everywhere. Okay, and so now def step self none. New counts equals counter for pair in self dot pair counts dot items. If none in pair, new counts of the pair plus equals 1. Otherwise, pn equals pair. Insert equals self dot rules p comma n. Tuple unknown int cannot be defined. Right. For key and self dot pair counts. I don't want to items. Items going to give me the count. If none in key, new counts key plus equals 1. Otherwise, pn equals key. Insert equals self dot rules. New counts p insert and then self dot pair counts equals new counts. Okay, so let's think about if this is right. So let's say this actually double counts. And def run self num steps int to int. Yep. And then let's say double counted counts equals list of self dot pair counts dot most common. Double counted equals counts 0, 1 minus counts minus 1, 1. Return double counted divided by 2. And so let's try and say solution equals solution templates rules. Assert that solution run 10 equals 1588. Yep. So let's see if that works. It might not. Okay, so let's see. So PDB plus plus. Sorry. And PDB day 14.py. So let's see, solution. That's not going to help me. pdb.setTrace. Let me do it that way. It'll be easier. So that says 405. So that's totally wrong. So let me do this and dot non-n1 b1 nn nc. Okay, so solution dot step. Non-n b1 nc1 cn1 nb1 bc1 ch1. So let's go look at this and see nc1 non1 b1 nc1 cn1 nb1 bc1 ch1 hb1. Okay, and so let me do this. Def get count. Okay. Okay. I see part of the problem. Okay, so for pair count in self.pairCounts.items, counts pair 0. I lost my place. For prev next in that, if prev is not none, counts prev plus equal to count. If next is not none, counts next plus equals count. Okay. And now I was counting pairs. I need to count okay, MC equals counts dot most common. Okay, let's see if this works now. Okay, good. So that passed. So now and then they wanted me to run it for 20 steps, so no, 40 steps. So if I do 40 steps, it's this. Okay, so that works too. So now let's do solution equals, oh, seriously, did I do it that way? Dang it. That was stupid. All right. Anyway, temp equals template raw, rules equals rules raw, solution equals that. Print solutions, that's a big number. Print solution dot run 40, and I think that's what they want me to do. Okay. That is the right answer. Okay, good. So you can see that the first part was relatively straightforward. I just kept inserting the string. The second part was not straightforward because I looked and saw that you know, if I do this 40 times, that's going to be too long a string to represent. It'll just run forever, right? Because it's going to be, I don't know what this is, but trillions of characters long, and so my computer won't do that. It's just a portable ThinkPad, and so I had to step outside the system and be a little bit clever and say, okay, what can I do that doesn't require me to keep track of the same string? And we went down some false paths, obviously, but the thing that I did is I said, you know what, if I keep track of the pairs, then I'll just do the right thing, and then I can keep track of how many n's appear consecutively, and I know each time that an n needs to expand into an nc and a cn, and I'll count those. And now the challenge here is that if I do it this way, every letter gets counted twice, right? So once as the second character and once as the first character. So then, when I it's actually double counts, right? Because each character appears once as the first in a pair and once as the second in a pair, we have to divide by 2. Okay, so this is the first problem this year, I would say, that requires like some tricky optimization. That sort of just doing the naive thing isn't going to get you there. And so, it's always a little bit iffy to try and come up with those optimizations on the fly. But we did it and it worked. So, yeah, thanks. Thanks for watching. And yeah, I will do it. I will do it again tomorrow, I guess.